so I get to here, I can see the damming section just there. I wouldn't get a lot of warning probably, it depends how much I'm looking at the rope. So I'm gonna engage the French prusik, so that's pushed up. Keep hold, a hand for myself here, and then I'm gonna find that damaged section of rope, so that's just here, and I want to isolate it. Now I could put a backup knot in underneath my French prusik if I wanted to, but that's basically what I'm going to create here by isolating that damaged section. I suppose it depends how early I spot it. So I'm taking quite a lot of care with this overhand knot. I'm dressing it like I would to tie two ropes together to do a retrievable abseil, because I'm going to load it on the other side. I don't want it to do any flip-flops, so really dress each section. Great, okay. So now what I need to be able to do is to get this below here so that I can carry on abseiling. I am going to put in another backup, so a wee bit down from the isolation loop I'm going to pop a clove hitch. I'd hope that I've got another carabiner on my harness. I might not, because my pal might have the rack. I've got the one my prusiks are on, I suppose, but here's one that I prepared earlier. So probably a good argument to always have a spare crab and a spare sling on your harness when you're abseiling. So I'm going to pop that in, do that up. Okay, now then I need to transfer my weight to a prusik above here so that I can get all of this off the rope. So that round here. Again, what type of prusik am I going to tie? Well, this prusik, I'm going to need it to slip under load, but at my asking. So I'm actually going to go with a French here. Just don't put too many loops in it, because you're going to want it to give you a little bit of slack. Whoa, so I've run out of gear. Have got the screw gate on the end of my cow's tail, so maybe I can use that. I'll pop that in there like that. And yeah, what if this was all the kit I had? You'll see people practicing this and sort of in the books, and you know, they'll tell you to get an extra sling or a quick draw and start to connect yourself, but quite often when I abseil in, if my partner's got all the rack, I'll have very limited equipment on my harness. So let's have a go at solving it with just what we've got here then. What I'm going to do is a hand span above the knot here, literally sort of just above the belay plate. I'm going to pop in another overhand knot. So I'm going to take the sling out of there. So just about there, look. I don't want it too far away from me because I won't be able to reach the prusik. So about there is good. I'm going to get that in there. Right, and now what I'm going to do is push that as far away from me as I can. Like that. But you can see, even when it's tight, I can get both hands on the top, which is what I'm going to need to do at the next stage. The next stage then is to load this. So to do that, I'm going to carry on abseiling until that comes under tension and this goes slack. So slipping that French prusik. You can see this one's now gripping. If I'd got a bit too close to that knot, I could have caused myself problems there. So do make sure you give yourself a good 30 centimetres between your lower prusik and the isolation knot. Otherwise you find you just can't move. I'm keeping an eye on that. I might have a little jiggle just to make sure it's not slipping. Yep, that looks good. Okay, so now that can come off. And I'm going to pop it straight back on under here. Nice and neat, not rushing, taking my time, making sure I'm doing it right first time. 4 or 5 wraps there again, depending on your prusik. Give it a check, that looks good. Get that back in. Now you have got options here. I want my weight to come onto the rope here as quickly as possible. It's going to make my life easier. So I'm actually going to connect this back into my leg loop so that I can put my belay plate on my belay loop. And it just means everything's going to get engaged a little bit quicker. So if I pop that off of there, make sure you don't drop anything at this point. If you haven't got much gear, that's going to make you cry. There we go. So this then can actually go on here. Like so. Do make sure you get the right bit of rope. You want to load yourself onto the damaged section by mistake. So again, just take your time, make sure all the stages are correct. Get it right first time. So happy with that. Going to crank up the prusset. Good. So that's then going to engage. So what I want to do now is slip this French prusset so my weight comes onto the belay plate here. Remember, this is backed up with the prusset and with the clove hitch that I tied a wee while back as well. So there is a redundancy in the system. Do this slowly, and one of the things you want to pay attention to is your carabiners. It's very easy for them to be sideways loaded, so just take your time. Get everything orientated. And again, you can see I haven't got about, I don't know, what's that, 10 centimetres or so of play here. So getting your distances right with this is quite important. So that's good, that French prusset is engaging. All my carabiners are the right way round. So now I can remove this. Get rid of that. Time to take. Just get that out of the way as well. Marvellous. Just need to get rid of that backup clove hitch. There we go. Hand for myself again. Slip that prusset. Now where I go. Ace.